Hey guys, welcome back. I am out in the garden and thought I would make a quick video today about seed saving. I have kind of made it my personal goal for this year in gardening to make sure that I am doing more seed saving. So I began that actually last season, starting to plan with a few of the things I'm going to seed save from. But a lot of the things are starting to bolt, or they're starting to put on their seed heads right now. My garden looks really kind of messy. Haven't mowed it because it's been so dry. Haven't weeded a lot even because I don't want to disrupt the soil. Anyway, so things are a little messy, but I thought I would take you along and show you a few of the things that I'm getting ready to seed save from. And that way you can see what some of the different things different types of vegetables look like when in their seed saving form. Okay, so some plants will put out flowers that you seed save from. Some plants will you will seed save from inside the fruit, like tomatoes, squash, zucchini, cucumbers, things like that. Some things are the seed, like seed potatoes, or you'll use like sweet potatoes and you'll grow sweet potato slips from those. But a lot of things, most things, just put out a flower head that will produce some type of either a pod or it'll just directly have the seeds within the flower head, and they will dry up. So I'm going to take you around. I'm going to show you what's going on as far as seed saving in my garden today. Okay, so here is a picture of the kind of messy garden. I've harvested a lot of stuff this week, so things are looking a little strange at the moment, but we'll just start here and go bed by bed. This is actually so this is a radish, like I can show you down in there. That was a large radish. It bolted, and so I decided to leave a few radishes around to let those go to seed. These pretty little purple flowers, the pollinators are loving. I actually see some bees around here right now. The pollinators love those. So this radish was planted back in March. When it got really warm out, it bolted, which means it starts to get really tall. And then it usually doesn't taste good, so it's better to just let it go to seed. The next step is it will put on these flowers. Some radish flowers are white, these are purple. I believe these are like giant German radishes, maybe. I'll have to look that back up. But they put on the flowers, and then after these flowers, the next step in that, let's see here. Well, first they put out these little guys, then the flowers. After the flowers comes the seed pods here, and they look a little strange, as you can tell. Those pods there, those have seeds in them, usually 3 to 5 seeds in each one. I cannot get the seeds out of these right now. What I will do is I will continue to let this be out here, and eventually this plant, once it's used up all of its energy and it's just done, it will start to turn totally brown, and each one of these pods right here, well, if I can get a hold of one, each one of these pods right here will turn totally brown and dry, and you'll just be able to smush it and it'll crack it open. So you can't get the seed, you cannot use the seed until the pod has naturally dried completely out. That will mean that the seed inside of it is dried out, and then you'll be able to crack it open and separate the seed. So that's what radish looks like. That's how you save radish seed. Also in this bed is tomatoes. I don't have any actual tomatoes to show you right now, but here's a tomato plant putting on its first little flowers there. My tomatoes are a bit behind because I've been using this bed for peas, so we're a little late to get started. But with tomatoes, you're just going to be saving seed from a ripe tomato, and that does have a bit more of a process to do that, but that is how you save tomato seed. I just don't have anything right this moment to show you. Over here, this is actually all lettuce. I don't know if you can see. There we go. So you can see how tall the lettuce plants have gotten. That is called bolting. Also, this was spinach. It has grown very tall and is bolting here on the top. Just starts to look different. Actually, spinach puts out these little individual little circles right here. I'll show you what they look like once they're dried out. Those will all become individual spinach seed pods. The lettuce, though, that is very tall here, you can see this one in the background right there. It's putting out a lot of flower heads. Those will flower, which there's a few over here flowering, and I will show you. And then from those we will be saving seed. Sorry, there's like, our farmers around here are working double time today. They're making hay while the sun's shining. So you're gonna hear a lot of tractors in the background. But for here, this is before the flowers open. That's what that looks like. This is a red romaine. Okay, and so there's that. Let's go over here and look at the flowers on the next one. Let me let them get by. There they go with their hay. Sometimes it's just really loud. So you can tell basically all of my... Okay, so that's what it looks like when the lettuce first starts. It's bolted, it's grown taller, it puts this out the top. Let's come down here. You can see this is a red wing mix, I believe. It's putting out these beautiful yellow flowers. Look at that. That's so pretty and interesting. And after it gets done flowering, it will also do the same thing. That's when the seeds will arrive, but I will not seed save from those until it has dried up on top. Okay, so there's that. So pretty. And then here is maybe a butter crunch or a different red wing mix. I can't remember for sure. It's also this is another red wing mix. It's also putting out the pretty yellow flowers. And likewise, we will just be waiting on those to turn into seed pods. Okay, so that looks like we got corn interplanted in there. Let's see, what is next? We have sort of a messy looking bed because it's in different... We have mature green beans, we have new green beans just planted, we also have sweet potatoes in here. But I'll show you here. We have lots of green beans that are coming on. So with green beans, how you would seed save from those, these are immature green beans. But if I were to leave this plant and not pick these green beans, it'll take them several weeks. It will really swell up. The beans will become very mature in it. And if you just leave it and do not pick the beans, eventually these beans will turn yellow and then they will turn brown and be totally dry and crunchy. That's when you would pull the pods off and save the beans inside. And that would be your seed. Easy peasy. Alrighty, let's see. Over here, this is cabbage that I planted actually last fall. That is one cabbage. When it goes to seed, that's what it looks like. It takes up actually a lot of room. But I am purposely giving up some of my garden space this year so that I can seed save. So this is one cabbage. It's taking up... I don't even think you can really get the gist of just how much this really is, but I mean, there's just so much, okay? So the cabbage grows, it bolts, it grows really tall. It puts out these beautiful yellow flowers. Those flowers, once the yellow part falls off, they begin to turn into these little pods, and then those pods mature. And then once the pods have matured, here's the next phase. They grow into this, and you might be able to see starting to get some little bumps inside of it. That's where the seeds are going to be. And as they continue to mature, some of these out here, I mean, look how many pods there are, guys. This is insanity how many seeds, cabbage seeds you get from one cabbage. Each one of these will continue to fill up. They will continue to get thicker seeds inside of the pod, and then this plant will totally dry out. It will turn yellow and then brown, and after it's turned brown and these pods will be totally crunchy and brown, that's when I'll pop them open and save the seed. Like, these are starting to turn yellow over here. See the color difference here compared to those, and then they will be ready to seed safe. I mean, this is another I mean, look at all the pods. All of that is pods from one. These are 2 cabbages, 1 on each side. If you can imagine 5 or 6 seed in each pod, how many seed you're getting from one plant. Amazing. Okay, on to the next thing. These are carrots that are about ready to pick. So the thing with carrots, if you've ever thought, you may not have unless you're a gardener and maybe a new gardener and you're just wondering, so I grew carrots, but how do I save seed from them? How in the world do you get, here's one. How do I get a seed out of this? There's no seeds inside the carrot. There's no seeds inside the carrot top, right? So in order to get carrot seed, you have to leave carrots in the ground and not pull them. Leave them over winter. They have to go through 2 seasons of growth. So if I wanted to get seed from this bed right here, I would leave a portion of the carrots in this bed, not pull them, leave them, overwinter them, and then in the spring the green tops will grow back again. But because carrots are a biennial, the second year of growth, they're going to produce flowers. And I'll take you over here and show you what's happening on the next bed. So over here, these beautiful flowers, these are actually carrot. This is actually the trying to get the light here where you can see better. These are the flowers. This is what happens to carrots that are left and overwintered. This is the second year of growth. I left about 10 carrots in this bed, and this year they grew back. They're regular looking carrot leaves, like stems, tops, but then as it got warmer, those continue to grow, and this is what they have produced. These amazing flower heads. Now these flower heads, they go from being small, they grow, you can see I have a lot more over there too, and turn into these beautiful lacy carrot heads. And then I come over here, the next stage is actually they begin to turn green like this right here, and inside of each one of these little green pods is a carrot seed. I'll not be able to get that carrot seed out until this green part turns entirely brown. So I don't have any that have done that yet, but I'll try to update you later on. So just leave them all here. In about another month, this will be brown, and the carrot seeds will be ready to just brush off the top. And that is how you save seeds from carrots. I am loving just even looking at these. Ooh, look at this white spider, guys. Can you see him? Is that interesting? Okay. These are just gorgeous flowers. Okay. So many of them. This is just from a few carrots. They bring in pollinators. They're absolutely lovely. They do take up quite a bit of space. Alright, so let's see here. Over here we have green beans and we have strawberries. And for strawberries, you don't save seed from those. Instead, they put out runners for the next year, and I'll show you what those look like. So, to propagate strawberry plants, each year they kind of like propagate themselves. They send out these runners. Now, each one of these little spots right here, they will start their own like little root system. And this will send out. It'll kind of attach itself to the ground. And then next year, that part will become a new plant. So that is how strawberries propagate themselves. The rest of this is lots of green beans. We already talked about those. All right, let's go look at kale that I am saving seed from. It's over here. Okay. This is in a pretty good stage to be able to show you what it's like to save what's what kale looks like when it goes to seed. I tore off the bottom leaves just because to make some room so I could go ahead and be planting some other stuff in here. This is one kale plant. It has gone to seed. They grow really tall. They bolt like lettuce. They put on the yellow flowers. Those flowers turn into these little pods. The pods grow to this, and then they begin to dry out. So as we come around here, here is one. You'll actually get to see some of these that are actually, this one is actually dried all the way out. That is ready to seed save from right there, okay? In comparison to how green everything else is. So I pop that open and there are seeds inside of that. So that is how save. It's much like the cabbage. That's how you save seed. So these are 3 plants, and you can see how many hundreds of pods, each one containing several seeds. How many seeds you can save from just 2 kale plants. Alrighty. Let's see here. This is sweet potatoes and some beans. Those are looking good. I just replanted potatoes here. Like I said earlier, if you're going to replant potatoes every year, get out of the shadow, you can use, you can use even the tiny potatoes like this from last year's harvest. Put those inside in a cool area. Give them a few months, they'll begin to sprout. You can plant those back into the ground. This was just left out here. I missed it, I guess. But you plant this once it sprouts back into the ground, and you'll have a whole new potato plant, even from one small tiny potato like that. So the trick, obviously, to always having your own potato seed is to always hold back some of your potato harvest from the season before. Let's see here. So the easiest thing for me to do is save these little ones, because they're kind of a pain to wash and cook and all of that, and I've grown great harvest from even the tiny potatoes like this. Oh, let's see here. So I know I have onion seed over here that are onions that are going to seed. Let's see, my onion bed. I have one onion over here. This is a onion that has begun to flower. They're very pretty. Actually, probably need to put this back up here. There we go. So this is an onion head. Is flowered. Very pretty. Once the flowers die back, there will be seeds there. I have some more over here also. That is how you save onion seeds, just like that. Flowers will die back. This will turn totally brown, and then you'll be able to get the seeds from it. Okay, have plenty of things to talk about over here. Let's see, here is another onion bulb. I have several. They're just hidden away in here. I believe that this is cilantro, which is going to seed. And these are the little seed heads that it's producing. The flowers fell off, and these are going to be the little seeds. I believe that's cilantro. I planted cilantro and parsley here side by side, but I'm pretty sure this is the cilantro, and that is the seed from it. Okay. Over here we have a bean teepee. You can tell some of these beans are totally dried out. These are not beans, I'm sorry, peas. These are little marble peas. I purposely left this entire teepee of beans and did not harvest any of them. One, because I was tired of shelling peas, and two, because I did want to save a lot of pea seed for next year, because I really love peas. And so, until I have let these just grow. So they start out really nice and green like this. I've left them on here. Then the next step is they turn more of a yellowy color. And then they turn totally brown. This is leathery. And I could just pop this open right now, and there are pea seed inside of that. So that's how you save seed for pea, any type of pea. What else has gone to flower? Oh, okay, over here, this is sage that has flowered. And these are gorgeous. I am loving the sage flowers. Those are so pretty. The purple, the pollinators love these. I don't know that I can see anywhere to be able to show you where the seeds are, but they will flower and then they will do just like everything else. They will produce some seed. Well, so full to be able to show you some of the actual seed. My oregano is also it's bolting and going to seed right here. It has not produced the flowers yet, but it's well on its way. It's right there. So there's that. Alrighty. Let's see. I think that is the majority of it. Squash plants for squash and zucchini and cucumbers. You're going to let the fruit overgrow, over-ripen on the plant and not pull it off until it's very large. Like very large and very tough, because you have to allow the seed growing inside of it time to fully mature. For cucumbers, well, and then you'll cut it open and scoop out the seeds, rinse them off, and then let them totally dry before you store them. For cucumber seeds, let's go see if we have any cucumber. Oh no! And there's an airplane going over again. We left a potato out here yesterday from harvesting. Yikes. Okay. Such a messy looking garden right now, but just is what it is. Over here's a cucumber. Let's talk about cucumbers. Okay. Here's cucumbers. A little cucumber or two over there. If you can see them, the lighting's kind of weird right now. In order to save seed from cucumber, you will also leave it on the vine and let it totally just grow and grow until it is huge. And most cucumbers will actually turn yellow. They will get like this big around. They'll start to turn yellow, and then you'll just keep letting them sit there until they're totally yellow. Then you can harvest them, scoop the seeds out. They have sort of like a gel coating on them, much like tomato seeds do. It's good to let them soak for a few days and like to rinse them really well to try to get as much of that mucousy membrane off around the cucumber seed as possible. And then you let them dry for like several weeks, air dry, and then you can store them away and save them. Alright guys, so that was just a quick overview of all the different things I'm letting go to seed so I can seed save from them. In case I didn't say this at the beginning, everything I'm growing is heirloom varieties, so I'm able to seed save from those. That's a whole nother video. I'm sure I have some videos on the importance of heirlooms. But just a quick rundown is heirloom seeds have genetics that are very stable, so you can seed save from them and plant those seeds year after year, and you'll always get great results with plants that are edible and productive. Whereas if you try to seed save from hybrid seeds, the genetics have not had time to stabilize, and if you replant those after you seed saved from a hybrid plant, you may or may not get a fruit bearing plant the next year. So heirlooms are definitely the way to go. All of these are heirlooms, and that's what I'm seed saving from right now. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Bye.